Hi, my name is Kira and welcome back to Kpop Savior. Okay, so this year marks my 10-year K-pop anniversary. So I just thought I'd tell you like the story of why I named my channel what I named it, and um yeah, and how I became a K-pop fan. So I know not a lot of people watch my channel because it's new or whatever, but um I just feel like maybe someone will see this and it'll make them feel some type of way. I don't know, but I just been feeling like I should make this video. So when I was a really young kid, I had a traumatic event happen to me, and I didn't tell any of my family members about it because um, it was something that was really hard for me, and I didn't know how my family would take it. I had the type of family that they're kind of, not everyone's like this in my family, but um, they're kind of passive aggressive. My family's the type of family that will help other people outside of the family before they will help people in the family. And then also they're the type of people that will be like they'll help you just so they can tell people they helped you. Or they're the type of people who be like, oh, I'm on my way, I'm 15 minutes away, but they will really never show up. And then like 2 days later, they'll text you and be like, oh, I had this and this and that pop up, and you'll be like, oh, you should have called me or something like that. So even as a young kid, I knew I didn't want to tell anyone, and I honestly didn't tell them until like a few years ago. So when I was really young, probably elementary school, I had decided that I was going to kill myself when I turned 17. I that was for me, that was my cutoff. And then, sorry, I'm not going to cry, but then when I was 11, well, honestly, a lot had happened up until that point. I spent a lot of time praying as a kid, talking to God about it, because I didn't talk to anybody else about it. So it was me and God all the time. And and it was really hard because my family was in my household. It was very much I was always told as a kid by my mom, like, don't tell anyone our business, don't go outside telling anyone our business. So I definitely hadn't told my family, but I didn't feel like I could tell anybody else either. And my household was very toxic, and we all fought a lot. And I'm not trying to say anyone's bad or anything. I know now, the mature person that I am, that everyone's on their own journey. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. So yeah, I had decided at 17. I was like, when I was in elementary school, I decided 17, I'm out of here. So then when I was 11, my little sister was born, and when my mom was pregnant with her, I was so excited. Like, this was the first time I had really been excited about anything. And it was just such a blessing to me. My other siblings, I love them, and we were really close, but I just always wanted a little sister. And I knew she was going to be a girl, even before I knew she was going to be a girl. And then I met her, and she was a preemie, and she had beat all the odds. Like, she was a little bitty thing, and she would look at me with those beautiful brown eyes of hers. And in those days, I was just so full of anger. And she was still so kind to me and so sweet to me. And she would hug me, and she would want me to play with her. And that's when I had decided, I was like, I have to be here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I have to be here. And I feel like that was the first moment God was like, I'm trying to show you, like, what's here for you. And I still wasn't happy. Like, I was happy in the moments I was with my sister, but I would be at school, I would still be angry. I would still be fighting my other siblings. I'd still be cussing people out. Um, but I wanted to be here. And I remember in 2010, I was a freshman in high school, and my best friend at the time was my cousin. Like we had a lot of classes together, and he would watch a lot of anime, and I didn't understand it. Like I didn't really get it. Like of course there was like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh when I was growing up, and I watched those shows. I used to love Winx and everything and Sailor Moon, but I really didn't get it other than stuff I would see on TV on the regular. So so one day he was watching Crunchyroll, and I was like, "What? What is this website you keep watching?" We had a lot of time. It was like free period, and he was like, "Oh, you should just give it a shot." So I was like, "What's the website?" I went on there, and I was already a person that would get like wrapped up in movies and stuff. Like I would just watch movies to escape, and I would watch like a lot of TV shows and stuff to escape. So he was like, yeah, give it a shot. And I went on Crunchyroll, and the first ever drama I watched was Prince Hours. So I watched one episode. I left it at that. Class was over. We went on about our business. But the whole time I had watched it, I was really, really just laughing the whole time. I was happy. And it was the first time I think that some of my classmates had actually seen me smile. So, and freshman year was really, really hard for me because, like, at that point, I had decided, yeah, I'm going to be here, but it wasn't like I was happy about it. I knew I wanted to see my little sister grow up. Like, I had to be here. I got to see this kid, like, grow up. She's so amazing to me. She was a preemie. She could have died twice. Like, during my mom trying to deliver her and everything, like there was a lot of complications. I even could have lost my mom. So like this kid being all the odds and God saying she needs to be here in this world just made me feel like I need to be here. So I wanted to be here, but I wasn't happy about it. I had already had made these plans, and I would sit in my room for hours and hours by myself. When I wasn't sleeping or watching TV, I was writing suicide notes. That's all I did. So when so now everything's different for me, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be in this world, but I just know I want to be here. So everyone is at school. I had pretty much created this reputation for myself, like, leave her alone, don't mess with her, she doesn't want to be bothered. And the reason why I was so mean to people is because I was like, why even make a relationship with anybody when I'm already not going to be here? I'm leaving. Why get close to anybody? Why make friends? The friends I had were like the reject kids, which nothing wrong with being a reject kid because I was one myself. Like, I was a horrible student. I slept in class. I didn't care about tests or anything. And it's not because I wasn't smart. It was just because I didn't want to be here. So all the friends I had, I just felt like, oh, they're not going to care anyways. And to be honest, I ended up making some amazing friends. Like, for them to stick with me with the way I was acting lets you know what amazing people they are. So freshman year was really hard for me, but I had watched that one episode of Prince Hours. And so the next year, I was like, I was thinking to myself, I was just reflecting. And by this time, I had found meditation. So not only had the Lord given me my little sister, but he had also given me Buddhism. And I grew up very Christian. When I tell you I was at church 4 days a week, I was at church 4 days a week. And then also we would have the General Assembly in the summertime. So I would also be at the General Assembly 4 months. Where was it, like 4 months or something? I can't remember how long summer break is. But the whole summer break, I was at church. I was away in Nashville at church. So I grew up very Christian. But so like, I don't know if you know this, but if you grew up okay, so if you grew up very Christian, you know that on New Year's we go to church. we spend the whole time from that one day to the next day on New Year's, we're at church. We're there till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's like tradition for me anyways. So I decided that one time, I think I was definitely in high school. Maybe it was freshman year. I can't really remember. Or maybe this was middle school. So let's go back. And I think it might have been middle school. It was around the time, it was probably like a year or two after my little sister was born. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to church this New Year's. I don't know why it was, but it's not that me and Jesus have fell out. Me and Jesus are good. But it was that something just made me feel like I needed to stay home, which is very weird for me because in those days, I was scared of everything. Like you could go from being fearless and being like, I'm not going to be here, to being like scared of everything. But I had decided I wanted to stay home. And so I did. And so what's really weird about me, and I know this is the Lord, what's really weird about me is I'm afraid of statues. So me watching something with a lot of Buddhist statues is rare. So I'm sitting there home all by myself. Even my stepdad went to church, and he don't go to church, but even he had went that time, which lets you know it was meant for me. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching PBS, which was something I love to do. I love to hear about like new places because, I mean, why not? I'm going to be here. So then a special came on about Buddhism, and I'm thinking maybe I can watch this. Maybe they won't really show no statues or anything. They show statues the whole time, but I am like there. I can't stop watching. I just can't stop watching. And at the time, my mom had like a really, like one of those huge big box flat screen TVs. So I'm just sitting there watching the whole time, and there's like Buddha after Buddha after Buddha statue coming on, but I just can't stop watching. And through that, I learned about meditation. And when I tell you, it wasn't just my little sister that changed my life. It was so many different things. It was her. It was learning how to meditate, and it was just, I would meditate after class every single day. I would go up on my grandmother's. She has like this big backyard, and it's this hill at the top, and cars would go by, and I would just sit there and I would just meditate for hours, and I would just go into a trance. And I would find myself even at school just meditating, and it would be weird because sometimes I would usually sleep in class, but in those times I wouldn't be. I'd be wide awake, but I'm like in a meditative state, and I would just go into that when I was bored instead of sleeping. And then I would go into that when like really crazy things happened at home, because crazy things were always happening at home. So sometimes people would be talking to me and they would be like, hey, Kira. And I'm like, what? It was because I was meditating. I was gone. It was protecting me. I really, really felt blessed, like just to have that. And it's very rare for someone with my background. There's nothing wrong with Christianity, nothing wrong with Buddhism, but they usually don't cross. Well, for me anyways. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But so then I discovered dramas that one time. And so 2010 was when I was in freshman year. 2011 was when I was 2009 was when I was a freshman. 2010 was when I had decided that I was going to start watching dramas again, K-dramas to be specific. So I was reflecting, and I was really thinking to myself, when was the last time I was like really happy, like not overthinking, not thinking about anything crazy or doing anything crazy, or like just when was the last time I was like happy and just laughing? And I thought back to when I was watching Prince Hours, and I said, I gotta finish that drama. So I started watching it everywhere. I was already a bad student. I do not recommend anybody to do this, but I was watching it in every class. And because I was already a bad kid and nobody wanted to mess with me, They just let me do it. Especially especially the class where you're supposed to do homework. My favorite teacher, Coach Gamble, one of my favorite teachers. He used to just let me watch dramas, and he used to always tell me to be grateful because he lets me watch dramas and he doesn't bother me about it. So I really started watching dramas then, and then um, I've always sung from, I always used to sing in church. So music is very important to me. So I used to start to pay attention to the music in the background. And that's how I discovered K-pop. Really, really, this is how I usually tell the story. I was watching Iris, and you know the part where Top comes on, and he's like this assassin, and he starts speaking in English. I kid you not. When I tell this story, it sounds dramatic. I know it sounds dramatic, but I heard this man's voice and my heart skipped a beat. And I usually say the reason why I know my heart skipped a beat is because it hurt. It hurt so freaking bad. Like literally it felt like my chest was trying to rip open. And then my heart started beating again. And then it was beating so fast. And I was like, what's happening to me? Like I thought I was having a heart attack or something. But I was like, I'm too young to be having a heart attack. So after that like experience, like immediately after that, and my heart was still beating fast, I was like, I gotta find out who this man is. So I started looking stuff up, and I ended up finding out about Big Bang. I ended up listening to Big Bang, 21, 4 Minute, and Beast, who are now Highlight. And it became all consuming for me. Like I was listening, if I wasn't watching a drama, I was listening to K-pop. Like that's all I was doing. My little sister would watch dramas with me. She would sit in my lap. She was so cute and so little there. I think she was like 4 years old, like when she finally started like listening to K-pop with me. And yeah, like now she still watches dramas with me. Like she watched all of Sweet Home with me, and like some stuff she'll watch with me because we like to, we like to do predictions together and have feedback together, but she doesn't watch everything with me. But she's a huge Twice fan, and it's just like I just want to let you know. I don't know who needed to see this. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I don't know if I'm supposed to be reaching anybody, but I've been feeling like I need to make this video to reach at least one person. I can't tell you what to do. I know how you're feeling, but you got at least one thing to live for. At least one thing. For me, it was my little sister. Then it was meditation. Then it was K-dramas. Then it was K-pop. I'm here, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what your purpose is. Maybe you're supposed to be just, I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know, but just try to live. First of all, the domino effect of it all. God is so good. I don't even know if you believe in God. I always say this. I can believe enough for the both of us. If no one's told you this, I used to always say, no one's gonna miss me. I'm just taking up space. I'm just a burden. I just want to tell you this. You're not. Live for yourself. You're not a burden. And I guarantee you, somebody's gonna miss you. I don't talk to my grandmother anymore. I don't talk to my brother anymore. But I guarantee you, if something happened to them tomorrow, I would miss them and I'd be sad. And if something happened to me tomorrow, they would miss me and they would be sad. Just be here. Just be here. Anything can happen. Something miraculous can happen that will move you on the inside. You'll feel something so wonderful. Just be here. And I just want to tell you, you're worthy to live. You're worthy to live for yourself. You're worthy to be selfish just for yourself. Just want to live here. There's nothing wrong with that. Just stay, man. derail your plans, like seriously. And I don't know if I'm saying anything wrong or right or what, I don't know. But I honestly used to say, you know, K-pop saved my life. And that's why I named my channel Kpop Savior. Like, but at the same time, I know I've been thinking about this for the past 2-3 weeks. Like, it was more than that. It was my sister. It was coming to myself and feeling like, okay, maybe I should be here, or it's okay to continue. That's my favorite quote by Prince. It's okay to continue. It's okay. Um, and I'm gonna stop talking, but I just want to say, you're not a burden. You're not a burden. And you're supposed to be here. Anyways, I'm gonna stop. Anyways, and I also want to say this random question. Is there anything more beautiful than watching Kai dance? Is there anything more beautiful than watching Kai from EXO dance? I know, rhetorical. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.